swellings. Anterior 2/3 is by the lateral lingual swellings and posterior 1/3 is by the copula of the second and third pharyngeal arch. What are pharyngeal arches? We already know. The second and third pharyngeal arches means what is happening? Both the facial arch and the third glossopharyngeal arch is contributing together. And then you have the epiglottis, which is from the hypobranchial eminence. Together, along with this, the occipital somites will give rise to the muscles of the tongue. Is that clear? So these are very important. So shall we quickly revise? So how does the tongue form? Anterior 2/3 is formed by lateral lingual swellings. Then we have the posterior 1/3, which is formed from the copula. Then the epiglottis is formed by the hypobranchial eminence. And then the muscles of the tongue develop from the occipital somites. Is that clear, all of you? Okay. So that makes it easy. And these diagrams are again super easy to very specifically give you an idea about the nerve supply also. Okay, because anterior 2/3 of the tongue is supplied by which nerve? Lingual nerve is a branch of which nerve? Trigeminal. Mandibular nerve. Okay, so that's very, very important. So, and then the posterior 1/3 is a mix of facial and the glossopharyngeal together. Posterior, you will have the vagus also, which is contributing. Is that clear? So, how many arches are contributing for one tongue? 4 arches. Then 3 mainly. Okay, so this is very, very important for development of tongue. Now we are going to look at development of mandible. Okay, so there are 2 cartilages which are important for maxilla and mandible. What about mandible? It is Meckel's cartilage. Maxilla, it is rake arch. So mandible develops from Meckel's cartilage and maxilla develops from rake arch cartilage. So these cartilages are nothing but they act like a template on which the particular organ can develop. They just give a pattern on which the bone deposition happens. So it forms like a template. So Meckel's cartilage is very, very important, and look at the timeline here. 6th week of intrauterine life, Meckel's cartilage will start forming and helping or initiating the development of mandible. And then what will happen is there will be one from the right side and one from the left side, and then there will be fusing near the symphysis at the center symphysis region. So while it is developing, along with it there will be a inferior alveolar canal which is also developing along with this during the formation of mandible. So it is a very important thing which is related to mandible. So what is the timeline for initiation? 6th week. Which cartilage? Meckel's cartilage. So during development they are coming together along with the inferior alveolar nerve bundle, forming the inferior alveolar nerve canal. And later the ossification starts from the 7th week. What do you mean by the word ossification? Bone formation. Okay, so that is very, very important. Yeah, this is the next thing which you have to know is the development of the temporomandibular joint. Temporomandibular joint, you know that it is part of the mandible. Okay, specifically about the condyle. So when does mandible start? 6th week, and then slowly it is starting to develop. The temporomandibular joint starts specifically differentiating at the 10th and 12th week near the condyle cartilage region. Now please recollect, I told you there is something called secondary cartilage. The example is condylar cartilage and coronoid cartilage. Both of them are very much in the mandible. So they are the ones which are getting initiated at which timeline period? It is 10th to 12th week. So that is the time which it starts developing, and then there is a ossification center. So this is a schematic diagram. Can you see that it is blending together, and then there is a joint cavity which has to form. So any joint, what do you mean by